Hello one and all, I am Pal of Games and welcome to the checkout. It's back for hopefully the immediate future and longer than that, hopefully. I mean, it just depends how I feel really, and if a game I feel deservedly needs checking out. But this is yet another card game. I've kind of grown a rapport with them on this channel. For whatever reason, I don't know. But it's probably because I just really enjoy playing them as a whole, but it's not true. I mean, I like all real games, to be honest. There's not many I don't. But let's get on with it, and I'm kind of like going off topic. So the game has like a tutorial system, which is Academy. A campaign system, which I really have find amazing. I mean, I've not really, other than the tutorial, I haven't played this game. And I tried to record that, but I lost some of the files for that, so unfortunately I'm having to go through it again, kind of, but I haven't played the campaign yet, so I couldn't tell you. There's 7 classes at the moment, it would seem, each with its own campaign, which straight away I want to say is an amazing idea. I've never seen such an intricate amount of detail into a card game campaign, to be honest. If you can think of one yourself, go ahead and let me know in the comments, but I doubt it. Profile stats is really nice. I want to show you this because it has a really nice amount of each different, like, sort of, I suppose you'd say that it's all like really nicely subsectioned and aligns really well with how the whole organisation of it is. There's obviously loads of different medals and stuff like that, sort of treadmill trackers as I like to call them. Because that's what they're basically there for, so you can continue to play the game. A level system, I don't know if this is necessary, does anything other than just bees there, but regardless, you know, I suppose it's nice to have. The store's interesting. For the most part, it seems pretty fair. Like most card games, though, you can kind of, well, you basically can pay with real in-game money, but outside of the card backs, which you do pay real money for, I mean, you can't buy individual cards, so I suppose that's okay. I mean, it's typical for card games. It's not really strayed away from any business model, because it's just the same. I'm yet to. I have played a little of the game, and I've got to be honest, I'm impressed. So let's jump into a game right now, because I want to show you what it's like, and I might as well jump into the campaign and find out what that's like. So we'll try this Flame Dawn one. It's the first of the 7, so I think why not? But just out of randomness, I think I'll go with the one that looks the most appealing, and this one does, I suppose. It looks quite nice. I don't know if it's just me, but why not? So I assume that early on, obviously, the AI is going to be pretty easy to topple. Now, this is one of the most cleverly designed ideas ever, and you'll see why. I mean, I would love to show you in depth, but right. So straight away, I'm having to look at what the ability is because I'm not familiar with this. Okay, so that's an interesting ability. This game is very different from most in that. Okay, yeah, I totally forgot that. You've got a resource management going on here, which I think they've basically took from Hearthstone. I don't know if Hearthstone's took it from anywhere, because I can't think of a game that's done this before outside of Hearthstone. I know that Magic didn't do it, Pokemon didn't do it, Yu-Gi-Oh didn't do it. Outside of them, Duel Masters didn't do it. I'm trying to think. I can't think of a game what did do this, so that seems okay. It has got its own unique style in this mode, the zones. I want to sort of focus in on this. I should really say don't do this again. In that there's a defense zone and an assault zone. Now, you can only attack if you're in the assault zone, and you can only defend if you're in the defense zone. The idea is, like most card games, you've got to get them down to 0. You start off with a 100 normally, but in this case it seems to put us down to a rather measly 70, which is never good. It's kind of I don't know how this class works, but it's interesting me nonetheless. There is a really clever idea with this game in that you you can't your turn conducts, but they don't know what you've done your turn, so they're using mind games to determine what you might have done last turn in order to counteract it, and then both players' turns happen at once. I mean, it's hard because this idea would never work outside of the digital space, so that's that out the window straight away. uh no, I will not use that. Let's play that. We can play these over to the one to the assault zone, one to the defense zone, just to try and start things out. There's all these different zones, so from the outside it's a bit overwhelming, but it don't take much to learn. So as I've already explained, this sort of mechanic of the different realms in which you play, but the different zones mean that you can either attack or defend. These don't overlap in any way, so that's something to which sort of is quite innovative. I haven't seen anything that's done this, definitely. I've seen a lot of card placement games where it's sort of a mixture of card and board, but nothing on this sort of level, I would say. This works best here. This is kind of interesting. It's like the it's really strange, to be honest, in that what I'm trying to say is here that I don't even know how to put it. I mean, this class is weird. So I mean, they all play quite differently. From I've played a different class, which was it's shown off the predictiveness of the game quite well, which I will show off after this game because I want to show you exactly how that works. But then it has this like bench system, which is obviously stolen from Pokemon, so it seems to have mismatched from a whole host of games, to be honest, which intrigues me dearly, absolutely, because it seems to have just took everything it liked from a game, and it's just made them all into one, as well as sort of put its own unique spin on stuff, which is even greater. I've got to be honest, it's nice to see. Here I need to put on the offense, so I'm going to do that. As well as just blow more cards, I suppose. I mean, I kind of feel that I might have misplayed him, that should have been here, but regardless, that means that I'm heavily defensive here. And nothing should be able to take me down too easily. I don't know what this morale system is. I mean, that might affect the game as well. I haven't truly delved into this game in full, but if I'm honest, what I'd love to see is to see sort of I need to play more of it, to be honest. I want to bring you some content of this if you find the whole idea interesting, because I think it's interesting, definitely, from my standpoint anyway, of being a card game enthusiast. I can't see him doing much here outside of just losing. That's harsh of me to say that. Trading post, I don't think that's relevant to the game. So maybe that shouldn't be there. Maybe it is relevant and I'm not aware of it being relevant. I mean, I might lose here actually. Can I move them during turns? Oh, I can, okay. So that was sort of my own stupidity kicking in there. That should be able to deal with all that. So I wasn't aware of that, to be honest, that you could move between zones. So that's interesting for me, to be honest, because I wasn't aware of that being a case. I suppose I might as well just wrap them all into here. Because that makes sense, to be honest. And from there, go from there, I suppose. I suppose morale is important in this game. I don't know. Maybe that affects whether you win or not. So yeah, I assume it is. So I think that's to do with card advantage or field presence, I would assume. Uh, oh, I've lost. Okay, well I don't. No, victory. Pff, you can't make its mind up. Regardless, maybe I should quit out this sort of so I can show you a different class, because I want to show the diversity of the game and that, you know, it works differently. Can I just quit? Yeah, I can. Cool. So now I can show off a different class, one I played in the tutorial, which really intrigued me. It was a lot different from that one in particular. I think it was these, the laws. I'm pretty sure. I do not want to see that, so get off. Yeah, it does have a tendency to just pop up with stuff like that, and I suppose it's a real annoyance. I don't know if you can turn that off in the menus. I looked around for a bit, but I couldn't. So this is really clever, this, and I want to show you because it's very interesting. Now, I don't know why morale's still down, so that's something to keep in mind. They have quite a lot of text, I've got to be honest, so it might have a bit of a difficulty curve in terms of learning, because there is a reasonable amount to learn. That is actually really good, so I want to play that straight away because, oh, well I can't, it's 5, I'm a noob. But these are really interesting because they work off the idea of being able to come back, basically. Now I want to show what these can do, because what you can do is you can use an effect like this, but it doesn't matter if I lose here because I just want to show it off. That even if it doesn't, you can play things on a whim here where you don't know if they're going to activate or not. You're just hoping that it will, if that makes any sense. So the idea being that you play a card not knowing if it will be worth playing or not, because, for instance, if this card says its effect activates when it's on the field and it's not currently on the field, you can play it on that card, and then if it does come on the field during their turn of play, then it activates. But now that's a really strange way of doing things. I think this is sort of mechanics reverting to the actual campaign. I think this morale system, it would seem. That's what I'm getting the idea of anyway. I'm not quite sure what the whole morale system is, to be honest. I don't know if I didn't get any information on it in the tutorial, I don't think. Saying that, who knows? Maybe I did. Yeah, it seemed like that was the kind of idea of that card. You just kind of got the idea of it from looking at it. So that will help just blast everything. That makes me a lot happier. So now I can play this big bulky creature, and it's going to be a real pain for him to deal with, and I'm glad. So let's see if he can deal with that then. So as you've seen, that was interesting. That obviously he played more, but he didn't predict that could be that could happen. So I found that incredibly intriguing that he can do that. Well, cards in general can do that, to be honest. Then what I want to do is just fill up the card space with more so that I can win quicker. Because obviously he's not going to be able to deal with all this. The turn of play, it would seem, is that you obviously it's in the queue order of when you played them. So you don't have a selection there in terms of choosing when to use them cards, which is interesting. I might as well play that there because I know I'm going to sort of own him sooner or later, depending on what this morale system is. Just play out on that. So that's where it says it. So if you're sure you want to target it, even if it's not legal currently. So you're hoping on something that isn't currently happened, but it might happen, which I find really interesting. Definitely. So it didn't work. Basically, it was I took the risk and it didn't work. I just wanted to showcase that because that's for me very interesting that the cards work like that, because it's sort of games in general. Card games have always had this mind game philosophy, which seems to be quite prevalent here on this game, to be honest, which I really like. So I should be able to get a victory here. So as you see, I chose rightly, so that card will now go. So that's sort of in action, both sides of it. I got a victory there. Uh, so that's sort of my little look at it so far. For the most part, I've shown off the sort of shop and all that sort of stuff. I've shown off a few different classes. If you guys like this and you want to see more of it, maybe a playthrough of a campaign, maybe see more in depth. The deck builder isn't available until you're level 4, I believe. So that's weird. I mean, but you can't sort of. I suppose it's sort of just so you do a bit of tutorial first. But overall, thanks for watching everyone. If you've liked this, leave a like. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the game are yourself. If you want to see more of it, or just don't want to see any more of it and you're sick of it, that's fair enough. And other than that, thanks for watching everyone. And maybe, I mean, I might even put this in the Duel of the Day. Because I've thought about this, and it might be nice, card game wise, to just pick a few and put them into the Duel of the Day. So I've got a nice selection of different card games going on. Because that's more or less what I want from this channel. Sort of, I've got this light-hearted stuff on the side, like the Crazy Carp Show. I also want to do stuff like the Checkout, where I do just random games, what I think, whoa. But if I do a hub of mainly card games, that would be nice, I think, because I think that it's kind of the consensus of most card games that they stay within their own little cults, as it were. There's no, like, mixing of different card games, because they all sort of steal ideas from each other, which is always nice to see. This game is so prevalent of that, in that it's took some ideas from different games and it sort of merged them alongside its own. And I'm really, I'm not trying to bag on it for that. Well, bag on it. Look at me with my slang. I mean, I'm not trying to sort of insult it for that. In fact, I want them to. I love games that embrace that philosophy, because it's the same with all games, you know. There's obviously revolutionary concepts. What, you know, there should be in most games if that's if they apply to that genre. So I mean, health's always been a thing in card games. That's never going to change. It's just stuff like that, I suppose. But that was a little rant, I suppose, and it was a bit too much. But other than that, thanks for watching, everyone, and goodbye.